Yeah, understanding the athlete sounds like it's a big part of your training philosophy, which is very, very important. From your perspective, are there some typical areas of weakness, issues that you see in general in most of the tennis players you work with? Imbalances, strength weaknesses, areas that they just need much more focus on?
Yeah, I mean, particularly the shoulder is a massive area where there needs to be a lot of focus on. So making sure the shoulder blades, the scapula is nice and stable, making sure they have good range of motion through the shoulder. That's a very common area of injury. Recently, I've just had a player who unfortunately has got sort of a shoulder impingement problem. So making sure that mobility through the shoulder is key whilst it being stable. One of the common things I do see with a lot of young athletes is valgus. So, when they do their split step, their knees cave in a little bit. So making sure you get the glute stronger, that lower body stronger so it can withhold the load. They're sort of two major areas where I see problems with sort of particularly younger athletes.
Yeah, no, that's important to note for everyone because it's one of the areas because of the style of play and what we're asking these athletes to go through that injuries are part of the game unfortunately, but they can be limited successfully if the right training programs are put in place and if the people working with the tennis athletes really understand, okay, there are common problems that a lot of tennis players suffer from. We need to make sure we're implementing the right training programs to offset that and limit the chance of those issues arising. So definitely important.
I think also making sure parents are educated about this as well. So if they are going through a growth stage, it's acceptable not to drop the volume of tennis that they're doing and maybe just increase the sort of amount of mobility and flexibility work that they're doing. But I think talking to parents about that and making them realise that not hitting a tennis ball is the most important thing a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's so true. The volume question is something that is a concern in tennis because out of all sports, tennis probably has one of the highest volumes of training out of any sport out there, and that leads to a lot of the potential problems just by reducing volume to a certain extent, especially during peak periods of their development, can help offset some of these injury risks, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. It's and from that, it's making sure that you understand the athlete and also the parents, and making sure that you build that rapport with the parents as well as the athlete a lot of the time.
So true. That communication makes a big difference. Yeah, I think you made two really important points there. One was that strength sort of is going to be, and it is in many other sports already, the base of what everything else is built upon. And having that strength base can be done at a very young age if it's done appropriately. And like you said, not overloading them, but allowing them to make sure that they can handle positions that they need to be in. And the second thing you mentioned was the how much the physical game has changed at the professional level, and how these athletes now are so fine-tuned. They have such large teams of experts around them on a daily basis helping them. They have specialists from strength and conditioning to nutrition to physical therapy to physicians, all with them nearly 24 hours a day. And that's just the way the field is moving, which is great for individuals that are in the strength and conditioning world and the athletic training, physical therapy world, because there are going to be a lot more opportunities